All righty. Welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. And I'm going to take a minute as people start to see that we're on to log on and get a chance to hear us, see us from the beginning. As they're doing that, just a couple of things to keep in mind. If you're on Facebook Live, and most likely you've got the notification, feel free to drop us a line in the chat and we will try to get it on as we see fit. We love to hear your comments, and we thank everyone who jumps on every week and hang out with us. So this is our wrestling talk for the week. I guess let me say this: how was your Thanksgiving? I know mine was great. Lots of food in place. Sin City was there? What did you do, man? How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was actually very laid back. Went and hung out at Buffalo Wild Wings and watched plenty of football and
Okay.
hung out with some friends, and yeah, it was good. It was just it was a good day.
Did you get turkey wings?
Actually, no, I did not. But thanks for asking.
Oh man. How about them Raiders? That's right. Hey, I don't want to see that look on an expression on your face, Sin City. There's a reason why we can be good when we want to be good and be bad when we want to be bad, right?
If you say so.
And Michaels, I guess you're excited about your Chicago.
No.
Oh.
They fucking beat the Lions. Big deal. They almost lost it. Who cares? Fuck that.
A win is a win is a win. Come on, man.
No. If you're a shitty team, a loss is better because you get a higher draft pick.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, we'll see what happened next time. All right, guys. Again, everyone, thanks for hopping on. We're about to jump into our wrestling talk, so let's get started. We love start off with Raw and SmackDown, WWE for the week. All right. Let's be real, man. Let me be honest with you. When RK Bro first started, I was very critical, and mostly because of Riddle. Just this whole idea, which you guys explained it to me. All right, this is why you're not getting it. Okay, and I get that. But boy, after he came out though as Randy Orton this past week, that was pure comedy. It was pure comedy, and it doesn't take away from the abilities of what he can do in the ring. I could tell you now that I am a fan of RK Bro. I finally have, because I've always been a fan of Randy. And I've liked Riddle, but I don't like Riddle in the role he's in. But after this, I found myself going, all right, I like these guys, So finally, they're doing something that has worked with me. But that's with me. What on Raw did you guys like or dislike, or SmackDown that you liked or disliked? I mean, it was a lot that took place. What you say? Anybody?
Honestly, you kind of stole my thunder on the comment on RK Bro. That was probably one of the best things that I saw on Raw. Quite honestly, I was laughing my ass off during the entire match, and it did its job.
Absolutely. I mean, he lost his mustache. He lost his what was that? The beard.
Little soul patch.
Right. Yeah, he lost it all, but looking great. So yeah, that comedy was awesome. Hey, the biggest news of the week, I guess we should really jump into though, is what happened to Seth Rollins. First off, Seth, we always know this guy. He's just a genius. Period. On the mic in the ring, but after coming off of the match and walking back, he gets attacked by a fan who apparently felt he was doing something for the culture, the people. I don't have
bloodline.
The bloodline, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they do get one of these issues that happen. It seems like once a year, somebody wants to do that, and I never understand why.
Well, it's because they go to Brooklyn every year.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But I tell you, after it happened, I mean, I was shocked to see, because of course, I don't watch Raw live, so I saw all the videos that took place before I watched it. So I was already waiting to see what happened when I watched the show, and it's amazing that as quickly as they put out the camera and started playing the recap of the match, they went back to him and he was still like in the character as if he just didn't get attacked, which just shows you how great he could be. Because I don't know, I could probably be pissed and he'd be like, you know, fuck that, I'm going to the back, you know, yeah, and possibly go whoop his ass some more, you know, for doing that. But he stayed in character, you know. So I mean, shout out to Seth for what it is, and then came back later the night. So
yeah, well, you know, I think their biggest flaw was not bringing that guy to McMahon's office to find out if that guy stole the $1 million egg, the $100 million egg, which is by far Steve's favorite thing in wrestling, the $100 million, $1,000 billion egg.
Right.
All that I'm going to say about that bullshit is I hope that the money from Netflix was worth it.
It was substantial.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it legitimately was worth it, because why else would Vince and the WWE devote 2 full nights of programming, one on a pay-per-view and one you know, on their longest running show every week? I mean, Jesus God.
And it brought Vince out of all people, which he don't make any appearances ever.
You know, Steve says Jesus God, but at the same time, if anyone approached Tony Khan with that type of money, yeah, you know that motherfucker would be like, sure.
Oh yeah, without question, dude. And that's the thing, is I'm not disputing that at all.
And then they'd accidentally show the egg getting out of the ambulance where you could see it, that it wasn't injured. So,
oh God, equating the egg to Shaq.
Hey, they're both worth $100 billion trillion $1 million. So
apparently,
pretty much.
Hey, can we just say that that egg actually was less plastic than Carmella's face?
Oh,
wow.
I'm just saying, she put that mask on. It's like plastic on her face. So
sure, that's what you meant.
Well, that's what I said. And they're the new tag team champions. The Queen and Barbie are winning the tag titles over Ripley and Nikki. I guess we're firing her on the next round of cuts. Ash?
Nikki Future endeavored.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's not good. But Nikki, I can so see it.
Nikki Fe.
Nikki AFE.
Yeah.
Almost future endeavored.
Almost future endeavored.
Wow. But I will tell you, I don't mind them as the new tag team champions. I know. I mean,
of course you wouldn't.
I mean, why not? Listen, as much as you hate, and I'm sure Sin City also hate the Carmella gimmick. Okay, as much as you hate it,
I love when she's on my TV.
Oh, you do? Okay, my bad.
Yes.
Well, then Matt Michaels, no matter what, she is selling this shit, even if how crazy and ridiculous it is. And I think that is just what's so funny about this shit, is the fact she's playing this shit up too well. It's too crazy, but she's playing it up too well. That's why I think I enjoy watching her, despite the fact that course, yeah, she's cute. I wouldn't title her as the most beautiful of all WWE, but cute.
Man, she was fucking cute 3 faces ago. I'm serious. No, seriously, man. I saw pictures. The phone memories come up from 2018 when SmackDown was here just the other day, and it's amazing. You go and you look at her then, and you look at her now, and you're like, why the fuck did you do this to yourself? It's sad. I really, you know, and it's not just her, but this is a big cultural thing with plastic surgery, especially for people who really don't need plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing, man. She was a gorgeous, gorgeous girl, you know, and, you know, I mean, of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I'll give it, I mean, at least she actually is just a hair more real than Zelina's accent. So I'll give her that.
Well, you know, as the way you think about Carmella's face is kind of how I was questioning when I was hanging out with wifey and was watching it, and Dana Brooke, who's your new 24/7 champion, to me, she almost don't look like Dana Brooke. I mean, she looks completely different.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
In all seriousness, let's give it up for Dana Brooke actually winning a championship after being in the company for over a decade. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, at least she's got the TBS championship now.
I know, right?
Well,
I love how they all of a sudden now the 24/7 apparently is just their TBS championship. Let's just give it to the women. They can hold on to it because no one chased her. All those dudes are standing in the ring.
Right. I was confused on that. I was like, maybe there were rules to this. Like women are allowed to. I was totally thrown off for a minute. Yeah. Well, there's that.
And Raw, that egg angle, you know, gave us Austin Theory, which I just, you know, man, I think Theory is fucking money.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I was wondering who they were going to tie that to, and it was perfect that they tied it to him. And I like how he came in there with the long face, like, man, I know I done something wrong and all of that. And then it turns around when he finds out he did something was right. And then pulls the selfie. So, and then the match against Big E wasn't bad at all. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, you just said the best thing, the best moment of the whole night is when he takes that selfie with himself, the egg, and McMahon in the photo.
Right.
And Sami Zayn goes, and you're in the photo?
Right. Yeah.
On top of it, he was happy. Mr. McMahon is smiling. He's in the photo. And Sami Zayn is just like, you know, just at wit's end because nobody likes a snitch.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, man. And like I say, and shout out to that main event too, because it was a pretty good match as well. So, yeah. So Raw was pretty good, leading right into SmackDown. Man, I want Paul to leave Kayla alone. Okay.
Why?
Because he is just absolutely too mean to her. I felt bad for her. Dude,
good.
He said, what is the one thing he said? He said, something to the idea of, I only put up with you or something because there's people that like you. There was something to that line he said, and I was like, fuck, you know. That he
I only put up with you because there's one person in Northern Vegas who likes you.
Well, that would be I. Guilty. Guilty. But no, that was a great segment and everything. And of course, Steve, you always talk about continuity. They tied it right back to the end, right before it went off. Amazingly, Brock Lesnar has suspension's been uplifted now. So how exciting is that? And just watching everybody's face in the back, which is priceless.
And just so keep in mind that just means that Vince himself had to be the one to revoke the suspension. So
because Adam didn't know about it either.
Right.
Yeah. And of course what we're gonna hear on Friday night, because Sammy won the battle royal.
Right.
Now it's gonna be Sammy going, and he revoked the suspension. Like Sammy can't catch the break at all in anything, and it's McMahon now who's behind all this.
Yep,
which is brilliant.
It is, yeah.
And if you want to say about Roman Reigns how fucking good he is, the Usos have their look on their face, and they're kind of looking down at Paul. Paul's got that look on his face, and as the camera is literally starting to hit that fade, that's when Roman slowly turns his head, and it hits that right as it fucking times out perfectly. It was just amazing, how that whole thing ended. That was so good.
Yeah, and shout out to McAfee was also saying that Paul was trying to help Roman know who these people are in the ring, because he doesn't know who these people are he's going to be possibly fighting against. So he's being told who they are. So, man, and speaking of commentary, with McAfee, Cole, and Sonya Deville, wasn't that pretty awesome too?
That was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. She played it up real well. I mean, we all. I mean, just shout out to her and her and just her, what she's doing lately in her conspiracy coming against Naomi, and look like maybe it's gonna be Sasha now. But I love the commentary between all three of them.
Charlotte Flair shoved her pie in Tony Storm's face.
Yeah,
twice.
So would you say that Tony Storm got cream pied on live TV?
Oh.
Yeah, I would say that.
I'm just saying.
I mean, literally, yes.
I would say that it's amazing because those pies smelled like Andrade's breath.
Oh.
Hey, he was eating pies backstage. The guy, although he works for a different company, he came backstage. It was Thanksgiving leftovers. What are you gonna do? Just use his fingers in the pie, and that's why it tasted like his breath. He double dipped. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Double dipped.
Right. Oh man, that's hilarious. What was that one thing? McAfee was talking again. It actually was that match. It was the match with Charlotte and Tony, and I guess Cole said something to the idea of this is going to probably be a messy match. And then McAfee said, yeah, things are messy in my pants right now. And they clearly went like off. Like, did you see that? Did you see that, Sin City? It just went off like that. I was like, I don't think you could.
Well, it was actually after, like right after the Nakamura entrance.
Oh, is that what that? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because he always marks the fuck out.
He does,
for his entrance. And it was
I was like, they're not gonna let that fly.
Yeah, but apparently the most offensive thing he said is let's go Brandon. So and he's gotten a lot of shit for that on both sides.
Yeah, so he the way that he went about it was definitely very in your face, but Yeah, I mean, obviously the fans were chanting for, let's go Brock, or we want Brock, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so obviously he said, are they chanting let's go Brandon? And at first when I heard it, I was like, oh shit, here we go. So yeah, that happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And both sides
Yeah.
are like on the internet just going absolutely insane. And it's
I know.
That's
people are losing their shit.
They're losing their shit, and the guy's just getting all this publicity for something that he knew if he said it, it would just get talked about.
Yep.
And by the way, he did nothing more but just pose it as a question.
Yeah.
Even though we know that's what it was, but he made it seem like he didn't actually say it himself. I'm saying, is that what they're saying?
That's what he thought he heard.
Right.
Amazing.
As the commentator did in that NASCAR
in the
thing.
NASCAR.
So, yeah.
Covered up. So I mean, that's all he was doing, is he was using that situation to just mirror that. And if you think about it, it actually is, again, Pat McAfee brilliance.
Yeah.
Because he can get away with fucking anything right now. And I mean, what is Vince? Vince is not going to go, hey, Pat, you need to. Vince might even been the one in his ear going, hey,
yeah,
say this.
It probably was.
Hey, if you say this, I got $100 million trillion egg for you.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Well, cool, man. I guess that kind of covers that. So yeah, we have Sami Zayn end up winning that, which is, I love when they always have those matches that you totally forget who's out of the ring, because first you're thinking, oh, Jeff Hardy, he's gonna win in his hometown and all that, and you totally forget that. Oh,
no one wins in their hometown,
right? Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see exactly where that go. Good stuff for WWE. I guess that in that case, man, we can jump right over. Unless did you guys want to mention anything else about the show? Okay. Let's go over to AEW. And I will say, Sin City Steve, I will say that the 20-minute promo between the two were awesome. Okay.
Between the two.
MJF, CM Punk. I guess I should say Dynamite, because there were two, but there was no promo to start off on Rampage. But I gotta give it to him, man. And I gotta give it more. Okay, first off, let me finish my thought. Okay, I gotta give it to MJF. This guy right here is not that it's we already know.
Videotape performing his rendition of "You Are My Sunshine." I was so impressed with it that I asked him to come on my show. Please welcome 5-year-old cutie patootie, Max Friedman.
So I guess that would have been the line where CM Punk mentioned that while he was selling out Madison Square Garden, he was marking out for Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh yeah,
man. I mean, there was, I don't know, there are all types of stuff. I mean, you say you're straight edge, but you're looking like a meth addict. I mean, he told him that you can drop pipe bombs, but I drop nukes. Called him Nostalgia. His new name, PG Punk. Mentioned him, connecting him with hustle, loyalty, respect. It's, you know, what were you doing the past 7 years besides creating comic books that nobody read or movies nobody saw? I mean, it was just boom, 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 boom. Now, let me tell you this, Sin City. This is my issue, right? Because this is building up to be something great. And I think MJF is, and I could be wrong on this, but I think when you're talking about taking someone up to the next level, I think this can be the moment where he could be taken to that next level. But my God, if they mess this up and CM Punk beats him, this is the point where it's, as far as I'm concerned, the reason why I'm like, I'm out. Because this is the moment where MJF really now could go to that next level just on the promo he did here. And CM Punk, by the way, has some good singers too. I don't want to take anything away from him. But MJF held his own in that manner, made it very entertaining. And if he was when they have that match, he wins that match, that would be something I think putting over MJF. He ain't put over nobody yet, but this could be. The question is he? And for some reason, I don't feel that he is. Comments?
I agree with exactly what you said.
Okay.
I think that, you know, they do need to utilize this moment and this particular opponent as the person to give CM Punk his first loss in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I think realistically speaking, I believe the match is going to happen at Winter is Coming in a month, maybe. So if that's the case, then we're going to continue to have a lot of build.
Mm-hmm.
Something also to keep in mind is, you know, these guys went out there and they had a masterclass in promos. No other way to slice it.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it was a 20-minute promo, and it felt like it was a 5-minute promo. Like it felt like it flew by, but the experience itself was great. And quite frankly, when CM Punk first came to AEW, a lot of us mentioned, hey, can you imagine the promo back and forth that we're going to see between Punk and MJF if they let them go at it?
Yeah.
Well, I think that we've got quite a bit of greatness in store for us. I believe Winter is Coming is in 3 weeks on TNT, maybe.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
but they better not waste the match on TNT, to be honest.
Well, their next pay-per-view is not until like
January 8th.
January. Yeah.
Why?
I'm totally fine. I am totally fine if they push it out that far. But something tells me that it's not going to be on pay-per-view. I think that it's going to be, and it's a mistake in how they're doing it. But if you could actually have that be the main event of the special show, you know, the themed show on TNT.
Let's talk about special theme and finally get to it now that everything is not fucked up. And let's look at this, because this is just too classic to pass up here. And most people probably didn't even know this happened.
In a videotape performing his rendition of "You Are My Sunshine." I was so impressed with it that I asked him to come on my show. Please welcome 5-year-old cutie patootie, Max Friedman.
He still fits in those clothes too.
How's it going, Max?
Great.
Great, good to see you.
Thanks.
Did you watch the show a lot? Yeah, how long have you been watching? How many years?
Well, that's 2.
2 years, yeah. How old are you?
5.
5 years old. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
2 sisters.
How old are they?
Well, I just forgot, so.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay.
That's all right, exactly. You don't have to remember that. Who needs to know that? They're not here, are they?
Yeah.
Are they here?
Yep.
Yeah, really? They're backstage? Yeah, well, maybe we'll find out at the commercial then. Now, Max, are you in kindergarten?
No, why?
No, why?
Why?
Why are you in kindergarten?
No, I mean the why.
Oh, you're at the Y. I'm sorry. I got confused. Yeah. Now, when you decided to send in the tape, what made you think of doing that?
I want you to see my opera.
You wanted me to sing your opera?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want to be when you grow up, an opera singer?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite opera singer, Max?
Well, I really don't know this.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen any opera before?
Well, just a little.
A little bit?
Well, a long time ago, I did opera.
You did?
Yep.
Yeah. Where did you do opera when you first started?
A long time ago.
A long time ago. Yeah. Was it fun?
Yep.
A lot of people enjoyed your opera? Yeah. Yeah. So when you made the tape, did you think you'd get to be on this show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who picked the song that you sang on the tape?
Well, nobody told me.
No one told you?
No.
You just chose it yourself?
Yep.
Yep. Your favorite song, Max? Is it your favorite song?
Yep.
Yeah. What song is it?
Oh, you are my sunshine.
You Are My Sunshine. Would you like to do a little rendition of it now?
Okay.
All right. Take it away, Max.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
You know, Michael, you should go sit in the corner for that. Take a 10-minute timeout.
Why? Why, man? It's relevant.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's why Tony Khan gives him the big bucks. You realize Tony Khan never saw him wrestle. He just saw that tape, and that's how he signed him.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
Oh man.
So as far as matches for Dynamite, CM Punk over QT Marshall in what should have been about a 30-second squash, him hitting the GTS.
Yeah.
Dude, it took way too long for him to finish this guy off. Hello. Anyway. Oh god. The whole fucking MJF video totally threw me off.
Happened.
Thunder Rosa defeated Jamie Hayter and advanced in the TBS tournament. And what a shocker. Thunder Rosa drags Jamie Hayter to her best match in AEW. There's something I never would have seen coming.
Yeah.
Just for the effect of everything, Bryan Danielson over Colt Cabana was a lot of fun because you had Colt Cabana, who is forever endeared to the city of Chicago, and he got his fucking head kicked in and he got his fucking teeth kicked out, which I was a mark for that. I popped when I saw the piece of tooth in the ring, whether or not that was, actually his tooth or whether it was a plant, doesn't matter. I was in full on suspending my disbelief mode at that point. So that was good shit.
Yeah.
No, Steve, it was a tooth. It wasn't a plant.
Thanks.
I mean, it's hard to have a plant come out of your mouth. And
breaking news.
Fucking ass. And then in your main event, in the match that nobody wanted, Cody Rhodes and Pac and the Lucha Bros, they somehow took the fall, but it wasn't Cody that was pinned, obviously.
Oh.
So it was Malachi Black, Andrade El Idolo, and FTR picking up the win. I mean, there was this match was unfortunately overshadowed by some pre-match antics for me, in which Cody took off his weightlifting belt and threw it into the crowd, and the crowd threw it back. And yeah, that was the first time that happened. And yeah, it was just all about, you know, the weight belt spot for me in this match. But yeah, please just turn Cody heel. That's all that I'm asking for. Like that's at the top of my fucking Christmas list. Just turn Cody heel. That's it.
You know, the only problem with it is that now if he turns heel, the only heat he'll have is go away heat. He was stupid. He should have turned heel months ago before the fans, and now it's like there's no say. He needs to go away.
Yeah,
he literally has to go away. Thus, the go away heat, I guess. But that's the only thing that can save him for now is just disappear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, and then we'll just kind of roll into Rampage.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, versus Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. Obviously everything that you would expect from an Orange Cassidy match, with the humor and the creative spots, we shall say. They actually had some pretty good chemistry, I thought. Solid match. Cole and Fish pick up the win after Fish hits Yuta with an avalanche Falcon Arrow off the top, which was pretty awesome in its execution. Done absolutely.
Yeah,
perfectly.
I'll give that props on that. I saw that finish. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Britt Baker lost to Riho, and this just so happened to have the stipulation that if Riho wins, she earns a women's world title match. Okay. 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, it was a 10-minute match. Basically half of it was in a commercial break. So whatever. And then your main event was Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia. Kingston picks up the win in 15 minutes. This match and the other match that I had mentioned from night one, from Dynamite with Punk taking forever to defeat QT Marshall. I think that this match definitely could have been cut in half on time. While they did, tell a decent story with Kingston and his knee, I think that it did just kind of drag just quite a bit. And yeah, the right person won, but the match was just way too long and drawn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot the biggest moment.
Nope.
And that was Dante Martin leaving Leo Rush for Taz's team.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't get that one.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, being truthful, Sin City, are you getting a little bit aggravated from what you see happening over in the AEW side? I know we're going to be talking about some things over in 3 Count later on, just on ratings and what they're looking to do to try to keep everything going. But just from what you're seeing, just on, the past few weeks, this past week, do you have any concerns from what it is?
Not really. No.
No. Okay. All right.
No, I mean, it is what it is. Until the network themselves come out and say that they're not happy with how AEW are, doing things, or, if they're doing any, if they're not satisfied with the product that they're getting, I should say, then there should be some cause for alarm. But until that happens, it's not a big deal.
I mean, you are still entertained by it, is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
okay.
I go out of my way to watch AEW shows live each week.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thank you for that AEW recap there, man. For Impact Wrestling, it was pretty cool. They did something a little different this week. I know that they've been doing a lot of tapings of shows. So everyone kind of felt they were going to probably get a taped show, but they actually brought back one of their reality shows, Wrestle House. Now, I'm going to say this, Sissy. I see you shaking your head. First, shout out for you for actually watching. Did you watch it all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it all too.
Yeah.
Listen, I truly find all of that, as ridiculous as it is, I do find it entertaining. And I found Wrestle House itself when they did that during the pandemic as a way to keep content and still have, do have some wrestling matches and all that. And they did a lot of their matches outside during the year. But to bring it back, and it was so funny because now it makes sense. When we were at the show, oh man, getting a feedback, just like, what the heck? Sorry about that. You probably heard that noise too, right? Yeah. Anyway, after the show, I think it was after Bound for Glory, I had seen Dino walking out, and I was like, man, bring back Swingers Palace. And he said, we probably don't have that, but we got something even better coming. Now, little did I know that he was talking about Wrestle House 2 until it came on. But without really going into what the entire, because I just recommend people just to check it out. It's just a reality show. This whole storyline was that Dino felt bad for Swinger for losing his match against the Demon at Bound for Glory, who, of course, we now know, which I think you guys already have figured out, he thought was Gene Simmons. That was from Kiss. So he's upset. He felt bad about it. And Dino was like, look, he was my boss in Swingers Palace. I want to see him happy again. And in return of making him happy, I'll give you my soul, Rosemary, who, of course, Rosemary is the person who snaps her fingers and puts you right into this Wrestle House. All right. So that was pretty much the storyline of all of that for Swinger to have some happiness. And they spent 2 hours going through 7 weeks of finding some happiness through there. So like I say, again, it's great because if you watch Impact, they make a lot of jokes. I mean, they clown themselves, they clown other people who've been in the company. They take jabs on all types of things, and if as long as you kind of keep up, you kind of get a lot of the jokes and things that they were doing. But great episode overall. Not necessarily the best, because you did get 3 matches, but they weren't like the best matches. They were all going towards the storyline of Wrestle House that they were trying to tell. And they never really said, Wrestle House is over. I mean, technically the show didn't end where, I mean, you would assume that it's a wrap, but it kind of ended with them still being in the house. So who knows? We know at this moment, man, they are now working their way to the Hard to Kill pay-per-view was in January. We still know that they got at least 4 tapings that they taped out here. So I don't know when those will start. I might start next week. That'll at least take them into January. So they may run another couple of episodes of Wrestle House. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I was actually shocked to see Wrestle House 2. But nevertheless, it was pretty cool. If you get a chance to watch it, watch it. If you're a fan of Impact, you will enjoy it. If you're not, you're going to be like, what is this shit? Why am I watching this? Who are they? I'm out. Like, seriously, but if you're familiar with everybody, I think you would get a really good, by the way, the commentators for when they wrestled, okay, when they had wrestling matches, the commentators was Father Mitchell, Dr. Ross. You hear that, Michaels? Dr. Ross.
Oh, no, Dr. Ross has been on the show before.
Yeah, and Sin Bodhi. All right, so those were your commentators, which you can only imagine how that sounded. And they even shot a lot of that, of course, because they're in Vegas at the FSW I'll call it arena. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. But over at FSW, so they shot a lot of the matches there, and so that was pretty cool to see. Because when you saw the venue, it was like, oh, okay, that's FSW, you know. So it was pretty cool to see that they did that, and I was like, I wonder where they take that, which house they was at, but I'm sure that was some nice little Airbnb somewhere around town or whatever. But anyway, it was cool to see. If you get a chance to, if you didn't see it and you're a fan of Impact, check out this past week. It was all about Wrestle House 2. If you saw Wrestle House during the pandemic, it was just added on to that, and it was pretty good. That's all I'll say about that, unless you want to add anything, Sin City, being that you watched a little bit of it.
So what I'll say about it was, I could not watch this on a recurring basis every single week, but I think that it was good, given the fact of when it actually fell, which was, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It was basically, I saw a couple of people online compare it to like a holiday special, if you were watching any kind of a drama and, they were doing a holiday special that was not canon. There really wasn't anything that they will pay off in like long-term storytelling or anything of that nature. So I think that it was completely good. It was good entertainment. Like I said, I couldn't watch it every single week, but I didn't mind it. And in fact, I was fully entertained.
Yeah. And that's the main thing, man. And you know what? And I think that's really cool because we all know that and around this time at Thanksgiving, when with WWE, you're gonna get pies in your face. You're gonna get turkeys, through a table, or even now with AEW, you're gonna have someone sitting down and they got food all out. So, for Impact to go, listen, we're not gonna be the third company to do something that's similar to everyone else. Let's just do something completely different. And I just like the fact that they just think out of the box and they just like, fuck it, let's just do something different, And I think Wrestle House was something that was exciting to see back during the pandemic. I guess they figured, what the hell? Why don't we just do that again? We need to fill in some time. Again, before they start showing the tape shows to lead eventually into Hard to Kill. So I think it works great. So it was good to see that, man. All right. Do you have anything, Sin City, on New Japan? Is anything happening that we should know about?
So there's, New Japan loves their round robin style tournaments, and they're currently in about halfway through the Best of the Super Juniors tournament and also the World Tag League tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, it's about half over, like I said, and Show is leading the way currently with 10 points. You've got Kanemaru and Taiji Ishimori in second with 8 points. El Desperado and Hiromu Takahashi with 7. Bushi and Taguchi with 6. Robbie Eagles, Dookie, Yo, Master Wato, and El Phantasmo all with 4. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And of course, what it'll end up yielding will end up being a junior heavyweight championship match in the future. The World Tag League tournament, Tetsuya Naito and Sonata currently in first with 10 points. Tanahashi and Yano tied up with Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. with 8 points. Tamatonga and Tangaloa are tied with Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens, also with Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, and also with Great Khan and Hanare, all with 6 points. Tenzan and Kojima, Evil and Takahashi with 4 points. Yuji Nagata and Tiger Mask 4 with 2 points. And interesting, Minoru Suzuki and Taka Michinoku are evidently a team in this tournament. And as of right now, they have not won a match. So they're chilling at the bottom of the standings with no wins, right there with Makabe and Honma. So interesting stuff. The winning team will obviously get a World Tag Team Championship match as well.
Perfect. Thank you much for that. You know, it's funny. I couldn't find my SmackDown notes from earlier, and I just found them. So what Paul said was, I used to like you because others thought you were pretty. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I and
Damn.
then I wrote down things that I thought was great that Roman, he said, first off, rumors give losers false hope. I was like, okay, I like that. I like that. He talked about the idea of management being desperate now, because they can't figure out someone for him to fight against. He says, hey, let 3 of them win tonight. Doesn't matter. One line I thought it was pretty interesting. It says, when my days are done around here, and that could be sooner than later, then the whole world would acknowledge me. I caught that. I'm like, oh no, man, don't be leaving. Because if Roman was the lead, who now takes that spot? We always ask that question when someone leads, who takes that next spot? And I don't know. I mean, is Big E ready to take the Roman Reigns spot? I mean, I don't think so.
I don't think anybody's ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Anybody can assume his position.
That's what I'm saying.
Roman's leaving there, DJ.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying, based going over what he said. But wait, Matt Michaels, boy, he takes things so goddamn literally. Anyways, hey, tell us as we jump over into FSW, because that's some of our local wrestling. Before I let you get into that, the Falco Fouls was awesome. I hope you got a chance to hear it. Well, we had Brian Cage on, and my God, are you telling me, Matt Michaels, that Brian Cage was doing the interview while he was working out? Are you telling me that's really what he was doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
On the stair machine.
It's crazy.
So he was walking stairs while talking for a half an hour.
See, that just shows you how shape he is, because I wouldn't have been able to do it. Can you imagine me doing this podcast? It would have been, welcome to another edition. I'll probably just pass right out. So shout out to you, Brian, for doing an interview while you working out, man. And it was a great interview. And hopefully you guys get a chance to hear the DeFalco Files. And he was talking about the match he had this weekend. Matt Michaels was actually there live, man. Tell us how the event went down this weekend.
Yeah, it was really a great show and no escape. You can look it up on Fight TV and order the replay for that. Mm-hmm. Brian took on Hammerstone in a really, really good match. Very solid, very entertaining. No, there was no win for Brian Cage. He did not win the championship. There was massive interference by the new tag team champions, Toka Uso. Down the line, maybe we see Brian Cage come back and tag with Hammerstone against the tag team champs, Toa and Juicy.
Okay.
We also got a new Nevada State champion in the cage. We got Remy Marcel beating Class for his title, getting it back to him. Okay. You saw Sandra Moon defend her title against Viva Van, and that vicious, evil Viva Van attacked Sandra Moon after she won the match. So Viva Van's doing some great things out there, and maybe we'll see her back. You had a 6-man cage match for the number 1 contenders for the FSW No Limits champion, and Jay Vidal won that match. Again, very entertaining match. 6 guys in a cage at once doing all these different things. It really was something to see. You also got a new FSW No Limits champion in Chris Bay. So Bay is now holding the title. And Jay Vidal is now the number 1 contender by winning that cage match. So it looks like the possibility is Chris Bay versus Jay Vidal in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
And then you have Damian Drake and Matt Vandergriff beat the living hell out of each other in a weapon steel cage match that was just Just brutal. Just a very intense, very man, a lot of doors getting broken in that match, a lot of barbed wire being used, some thumbtacks,
Wow.
a lot of chair shots, some really brutal chair shots going on as well. So
Well,
yeah,
I listened to
that is
the
something to catch.
I listened to the interviews with Damian Drake, and he looked like he just really wanted to get some answers. My question is, I am assuming he must didn't get any answers at all from Vandergriff.
No, he lost.
Yeah.
Danny Drake left laid out there for the 1-2-3. So
Wow.
no answers, and we'll see if more answers, if any answers, get brought up, anytime soon.
Yeah.
But it was a really solid show overall. You also had Filthy Tom Lawler lose to Graves in a Natural Born Killers or a blood sport type match. Very, just a very stiff, nice shoot match. So
Yeah.
just good stuff all around. Very good stuff. But DJ,
Yes.
NXT, you don't watch a show and then you totally forget it happened.
I know, and I won't lie, I absolutely did, because it for whatever reason wasn't on my DVR. So yes, let's talk about NXT, because I absolutely forgot about that. I'm glad you mentioned it.
And the only reason I bring it up is because No Escape was 4 cage matches, and the upcoming NXT big pay-per-view style thing is War Games. And we now know who will be participating in the War Games for the men, and that's going to be the youngsters versus the veterans. Oh. So you're going to have Braun and Carmelo Hayes and D'Angelo and Waller going against Ciampa, Eli Knight, Gargano, and Pete Dunne.
Huh. Wow.
It's
My money's on the veterans, but I guess it would only make great booking for the not veterans to win.
yeah.
I mean, you would assume, right?
The 2.0 crews definitely win in that match.
Yeah, you would assume that's what's going to happen, but that was the big thing that the main event led to, is that huge announcement. And when Braun came out and just screamed into the microphone for War Games, and the fucking siren hit, and just 8 guys beating the crap out of each other as the show went off, was just wonderfully done.
Yeah.
There also was something that was kind of interesting, because it looks like potentially that a promo that was aired, a video package that was aired, might have been stopped before we even get to see it. And that was something that was pointed out by Brian Alvarez. They showed a video of and I'm trying to grab the name of her again, because I've never heard of her. Tiffany Stratton is the name of the character. So we'll see if we get this actual character. She is playing a kind of like a valley girl who was born with a silver spoon in her mouth, and her father has been paying for her tennis lessons and that kind of shit, so that she has the best serve in the entire country club. And her dad believes she's ready for NXT, and daddy's never wrong. So, and it was just wonderful vignette of Tiffany Stratton in a short skirted tennis outfit.
Right. And you didn't see her full face in the entire promo.
No.
It was just showing off her body. And it was like, all right, I mean, we're inching back toward the Attitude Era, which hey, people have been asking for that shit for the longest time. So, and now the second that they do anything whatsoever that somewhat pushes the envelope, people are up in a fucking uproar about it. The bottom line is this just proves that the Attitude Era as it was would never last even a full show in today's climate. It's ridiculous.
No, not at all. So that's it's interesting stuff going on. So you'll have the women's War Games match and the men's War Games match. You're also going to have Cameron Grimes going against Duke in a hair versus hair match.
Oh boy!
So yep. Get ready for Cameron to. I just wonder though, if Cameron loses, I think that it would be more unique because no one ever says it has to be your head. So they shaved Cameron's body hair off. That would be phenomenal.
That's funny.
That's never happened before, and that would be great.
Yeah, that would be a good. Yeah, I can see that.
That'd be
funny. NXT, man. All right. I'm about to figure out a way to watch it, especially so I can see the girl in the
figure
tennis.
Out a way to watch it.
Well, this past week, because it didn't for some reason. I don't know. It didn't record right.
It's called pay your bills, there, DJ.
Oh, stop it!
Damn.
Oh man. All right, man. I think we're done. Everyone, thank you for hanging out with us. This was our wrestling talk. We're going to get ready. If you're watching us live, we're going to jump into our 3 count. If you're not listening to us live, the 3 count will be available in Tuesday's release. And we got 3 good topics that I think once you hear, you're going to definitely want to have some input in that. So make sure you listen. Feel free to always send us an email if needed. Vegas Badboyz of podcasting at gmail.com. And you also can hit us up on our social media. Everything is at Vegas Badboyz. So Twitter, IG, Facebook, leave a comment there. We promise that we will get back to you. All right. So with that, we thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you next week. And until then,